Which founding father of the United States used the pseudonym Silence Dogwood to publish satirical writings? Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers of the United States, used the pseudonym Silence Dogwood to submit witty and satirical essays to his brother James Franklin's newspaper, the New England Courant *, in 1722. This allowed him to express controversial opinions and gain readership without revealing his true identity. Which English author's novels are set in the imaginary county of Barsetshire? Anthony Trollope. Anthony Trollope, 1815–1882, was a prominent English novelist of the Victorian era, known for his detailed depictions of clerical and political life in the fictional county of Barsetshire. His works offer a significant commentary on societal norms and institutions of his time. How many bones, in total, does a horse possess in its neck? 7. Horses, like most mammals, including humans, have 7 cervical vertebrae, neck bones. This anatomical similarity across species provides insights into evolutionary biology and skeletal structure. Canis vulpes is the scientific designation for which animal? Fox. Vulpes vulpes, commonly known as the red fox, is a widespread and adaptable canid found across the northern hemisphere. Its scientific name reflects the standardized system of binomial nomenclature used in biology for classifying and identifying species. Which planet in our solar system is commonly referred to as the blue planet? Earth. Earth is often called the blue planet due to the abundance of water covering its surface. This water reflects blue light, giving Earth its distinctive appearance from space and highlighting the critical role of water in sustaining life. Kielce, Olsztyn, and Opole are cities situated within which European nation? Poland. Kielce, Olsztyn, and Opole are significant urban centers located in Poland. Understanding the geography and major cities of European countries is essential for comprehensive geographical knowledge. In humans, what is the alternative term, puna, for which ailment? Altitude or mountain sickness. Altitude sickness, also known as mountain sickness or puna, is a pathological effect of high altitude on humans, caused by acute exposure to low amounts of oxygen at high altitude. It commonly occurs above 2,400 meters, approximately 8,000 feet. What English city was known as Oxonia in Latin? Oxford. Oxford's Latin name, Oxonia, reflects its historical significance as a center of learning and culture. The name is likely derived from Ford of the Oxen, alluding to the city's origins as a river crossing point for cattle. Which European city hosted the inaugural Summer Paralympic Games in 1960? Rome. The first Summer Paralympic Games were held in Rome, Italy, in 1960, marking a significant milestone in the history of sports for athletes with disabilities and promoting inclusivity in sports. What is the color of the ensign flown on all ships belonging to the British Merchant Navy? Red. The red ensign is the flag flown by British merchant ships to signify their nationality. This distinguishes them from naval vessels, which fly the white ensign. Which Swiss-German painter created Twittering Machine in 1922, a work that was later deemed degenerate art by Adolf Hitler? Paul Klee. Paul Klee, a Swiss-German painter, was associated with Expressionism, Cubism, and Surrealism. His work, including Twittering Machine, was deemed degenerate art by the Nazi regime during World War II, leading to its removal from German museums. Of which country is the Star-Spangled Banner the national anthem? USA. The Star-Spangled Banner was officially adopted as the national anthem of the United States of America in 1931. Its lyrics come from Defense of Fort McHenry, a poem written in 1814 by Francis Scott Key. Launched in 1972, what type of device was the HP 35 for Hewlett-Packard? Pocket calculator. The HP-35, introduced in 1972, was Hewlett-Packard's first pocket calculator, marking a significant advancement in portable computing technology. Its release revolutionized engineering and scientific calculations. Which U.S. president held office during the Cuban Missile Crisis? John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy was the President of the United States during the Cuban Missile Crisis in October 1962. The crisis was a tense 13-day political and military standoff between the United States and the Soviet Union over the installation of nuclear missiles in Cuba. To which color does the term xanthite pertain? Yellow. The term xanthite is derived from the Greek word xanthos, meaning yellow. It is often used in scientific and technical contexts to describe substances or phenomena related to the color yellow. How many consorts did the English monarch Edward I have? 2. Edward I, King of England, reigned from 1272 to 1307. He married Eleanor of Castile, with whom he had numerous children. After Eleanor's death, he married Margaret of France. Which notable historical figure attempted to detonate the Houses of Parliament in London during the Gunpowder Plot of 1605? Guy Fawkes. Guy Fawkes was a key member of the Gunpowder Plot, a failed attempt to assassinate King James I of England and members of Parliament by detonating explosives beneath the House of Lords. The plot was uncovered on November 5, 1605, and Fawkes was arrested. In which United States city is the Golden Gate Bridge located? San Francisco. The Golden Gate Bridge is a suspension bridge spanning the Golden Gate Strait, connecting San Francisco to Marin County, California. It is one of the most internationally recognized symbols of San Francisco in California. In which country is the Great Pyramid located? Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Giza, also known as the Pyramid of Khufu, is the largest of the Egyptian pyramids and one of the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. It is located in Giza, Egypt. What is the numerical quantity represented by a gross? 144. A gross is a unit of measurement equaling 144 items, 12 dozens are 12 by 12. It is commonly used for counting or selling items in bulk. Which fruit, originating from Seville, Spain, is traditionally used in the production of marmalade? Orange. Seville oranges are bitter oranges that are commonly used to make marmalade due to their high pectin content, which helps the marmalade set. They are a distinct variety of orange, originally from Seville. How many ounces constitute an imperial pound? 16. In the imperial and United States customary systems, 1 pound is defined as 16 ounces. This relationship is crucial for weight measurements and calculations in various contexts. Pug, boxer, and chow are all breeds of which animal? Dog. Pug, boxer, and chow chow are all well-recognized breeds belonging to the canine species. These breeds exhibit unique characteristics and origins. Which body of water serves as a connection between England and France? The English Channel. The English Channel, also known as La Manche in French, is a strategically important body of water that separates southern England from northern France and connects the Atlantic Ocean to the North Sea. It has played a significant role in trade, navigation, and historical events. Which element is the most abundant in the universe? Hydrogen. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, constituting about 75% of all normal matter. It is the primary fuel for stars through nuclear fusion. By what name was Swiss-born architect, designer, and writer Charles-Édouard Jeanneret more widely known? Le Corbusier. Charles-Édouard Jeanneret, known as Le Corbusier, was a pioneer of modern architecture. His designs emphasized functionality and the use of reinforced concrete. The pya serves as the monetary unit for which nation? Burma, Myanmar. The pya is a fractional currency unit in Myanmar, with 100 pya equaling 1 kyat. Understanding the currency systems of different countries aids in comprehending international economics. What is the English translation of the phrase, sun et lumière? Sound and light. Sun et lumière refers to theatrical performances conducted at night, usually outdoors, using sound and light to illuminate historic buildings or natural settings. This type of show is a form of cultural expression. The Scottish blackface is a breed of which animal? Sheep. The Scottish blackface is a hardy breed of domestic sheep originating from Scotland. It is known for its black face and legs, and is commonly raised for both meat and wool production, particularly in the upland regions of the UK. What is the name of the electric vehicle invented by Clive Sinclair and launched in the UK in 1985? C5. The Sinclair C5 was a battery electric vehicle invented by Sir Clive Sinclair and launched in the United Kingdom in 1985. Despite its innovative design, it was commercially unsuccessful due to concerns about safety and performance. The novel, The Day of the Jackal, concerns the attempted assassination of which political figure? Charles de Gaulle. The Day of the Jackal is a thriller about a professional assassin hired to assassinate French President Charles de Gaulle. The novel provides a fictionalized account of a real historical period when de Gaulle faced numerous assassination attempts. A sapsucker is what type of bird? Woodpecker. Sapsuckers are a type of North American woodpecker known for drilling rows of shallow holes in trees to feed on sap and insects. Their feeding habits can sometimes cause damage to trees, making them of interest in forestry and ecology. How many letters of the English alphabet are used as Roman numerals? 7. 7 letters of the English alphabet are used as Roman numerals: I, 1, V, 5, X, 10, L, 50, C, 100, D, 500, and M, 1000. Understanding these symbols is fundamental to interpreting historical dates and inscriptions that utilize Roman numerals. Who wrote the 19th century play, Hedda Gabler? Henrik Ibsen. Henrik Ibsen, a Norwegian playwright, wrote Hedda Gabler in 1890. The play is a significant work of realist drama, exploring themes of societal expectations, female agency, and the constraints of marriage in the 19th century. In 2012, the Austrian Mint issued a 5-coin gold series to commemorate the 150th anniversary of the birth of which artist? Gustav Klimt. The Austrian Mint released a commemorative gold coin series in 2012 to mark the 150th anniversary of Gustav Klimt's birth. Klimt was a prominent Austrian symbolist painter and one of the founders of the Vienna secession movement. What was the name of the favorite warhorse of the first Duke of Wellington? Copenhagen. Copenhagen was the Duke of Wellington's warhorse during the Napoleonic Wars, most notably at the Battle of Waterloo. The horse was known for its stamina and courage. What were the first names of poet W. H. Auden? Wistan Hugh. Wistan Hugh Auden, 1907 to 1973, was a highly influential Anglo-American poet known for his intellectual depth and engagement with political and moral issues. Who was the first British Prime Minister to serve under Queen Elizabeth II? Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill was the first Prime Minister to serve under Queen Elizabeth II upon her accession to the throne in 1952. He led the country during World War II and remained in office until 1955. The Great Smoky Mountains are on the border of which two U.S. states? North Carolina and Tennessee. The Great Smoky Mountains, known for their distinctive smoky haze and biodiversity, straddle the border between North Carolina and Tennessee, forming part of the Appalachian Mountains. In which British city is Anderston Railway Station? Glasgow. Anderston Railway Station is located in Glasgow, Scotland. It serves as an important transport hub within the city's suburban rail network. Quimetrophobia is the irrational fear of which places? Cemeteries. Coimetrophobia refers to the specific phobia of cemeteries. Phobias are classified as anxiety disorders characterized by excessive and irrational fears. Which United States president is depicted on a $50 banknote? Ulysses S. Grant. Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th President of the United States, is featured on the front of the $50 bill. He served as president from 1869 to 1877. A tridecagon has how many sides? 13. A tridecagon, also known as a triskaidekagon, is a polygon with 13 sides and 13 angles. Polygons are classified based on the number of sides they possess. Milt is the sperm-filled reproductive gland of which type of creature? Fish. Milt refers to the seminal fluid containing sperm of male fish, mollusks, and certain other water-dwelling creatures. It's analogous to semen in mammals and is vital for fertilization. Which is the northernmost Scandinavian country? Norway. While geographically complex, Norway extends further north than Sweden, Denmark, Finland, or Iceland. Northernmost points include locations in Nordkapp. In which European country are the cities of Almere, Tilburg, and Breda located? Netherlands. Almere, Tilburg, and Breda are significant urban centers in the Netherlands, a country known for its extensive canal system and contributions to art and technology. The Netherlands is a founding member of the European Union. The imperial crown of India was created upon the occasion of which British monarchs visit to Delhi as Emperor of India? King George V. King George V's visit to India in 1911 marked a significant event during which he was crowned Emperor of India. The imperial crown of India was specifically created for this event, symbolizing British sovereignty over the Indian subcontinent. How many full terms in office did U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt serve? 3. Franklin D. Roosevelt served 3 full terms as President of the United States, being elected 4 times in total. He is the only U.S. President to have served more than 2 terms, a practice that was subsequently limited by the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution. In the human body, skeletal, smooth, and cardiac are all types of what? Muscle. The 3 main types of muscle tissue in the human body are skeletal muscle, responsible for voluntary movement, smooth muscle, found in the walls of internal organs, and cardiac muscle, specific to the heart and responsible for pumping blood. In which European country was industrialist and philanthropist Andrew Carnegie born in 1835? Scotland. Andrew Carnegie, a prominent industrialist and philanthropist, was born in Dunfermline, Scotland, in 1835. He later emigrated to the United States, where he built his steel empire and became a major benefactor of public libraries and educational institutions. Which planet in our solar system lies between Earth and Mercury? Venus. Venus is the second planet from the Sun, positioning it between Earth and Mercury in our solar system. It is known for its dense atmosphere and extreme surface temperatures. The Obvodny Canal is located in which European country? Russia. The Obvodny Canal is a major waterway located in St. Petersburg, Russia. Constructed in the late 18th and early 19th centuries, it initially served as a defensive moat and later became an important industrial and transportation artery. During the reign of which English monarch was Thomas Percy, the 7th Earl of Northumberland and 1st Baron Percy, executed? Queen Elizabeth I. Thomas Percy, a prominent Catholic figure, was executed in 1572 for his involvement in the Rising of the North, a rebellion against Queen Elizabeth I's Protestant rule. His execution highlights the religious tensions and political challenges faced by Elizabeth I during her reign. Which human rights activist delivered a speech entitled, "The Ballot or the Bullet," in Cleveland, Ohio, in April 1964? Malcolm X. Malcolm X's "The Ballot or the Bullet" speech advocated for black empowerment and self-determination, urging African Americans to exercise their right to vote or, if necessary, defend themselves, by any means necessary. The speech reflected the growing frustration with the slow pace of civil rights progress and the need for more assertive action. What branch of anatomy is osteology the study of? Bones. Osteology is the scientific study of bones, focusing on their structure, function, growth, and evolution. It is a crucial field in anthropology, archaeology, and medicine for understanding human and animal skeletal systems, identifying diseases, and reconstructing past lifestyles. How many fluid ounces are there in 1 imperial pint? 20. 1 imperial pint is equal to 20 fluid ounces. The imperial system of measurement is primarily used in the United Kingdom and some Commonwealth countries, and differs from the US customary system. Equus ferus caballus is the scientific name for which animal? Horse. Equus ferus caballus is the scientific name for the modern domestic horse. Scientific nomenclature utilizes a binomial naming system, with the genus followed by the species. A sovereign is a British gold coin worth how much in sterling? 1 pound. The sovereign is a British gold coin that was historically equivalent to 1 pound sterling. It was first introduced in 1489 and has been reminted several times throughout British history. How many bronze lions are at the base of Nelson's Column in London? 4. There are 4 bronze lions sculpted by Sir Edwin Landseer at the base of Nelson's Column in Trafalgar Square, London. The column commemorates Admiral Horatio Nelson's victory at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. Who was the first person to commit murder in the Bible? Cain. According to the book of Genesis, Cain committed the first murder by killing his brother Abel. This story is a significant event in Judeo-Christian theology. How many arches does the Bridge of Dee in Aberdeen have? 7. The Bridge of Dee, also known as the Old Bridge of Dee, is a historic bridge across the River Dee in Aberdeen, Scotland, featuring 7 semicircular arches. It was completed in 1527. Which U.S. president is depicted crossing the Delaware River in Emanuel Lewitz's 1851 painting? George Washington. Emanuel Lewitz's iconic 1851 painting, Washington Crossing the Delaware, depicts George Washington leading the Continental Army across the Delaware River in December 1776 during the American Revolutionary War. The event was a surprise attack on Hessian forces in Trenton, New Jersey. What is the official language of Venezuela? Spanish. Spanish is the official language of Venezuela, reflecting its colonial history and cultural heritage. A large majority of the Venezuelan population speaks Spanish as their first language. In which year was Marie Antoinette, Queen of France, executed? 1793. Marie Antoinette, the Queen of France during the French Revolution, was executed by guillotine in 1793. Her execution marked a turning point in the revolution. What is the name of the Gloucestershire home of the Duke of Beaufort? Badminton House. Badminton House is a large country house and estate in Gloucestershire, England, and has been the principal seat of the Duke of Beaufort since the late 17th century. The Badminton Horse Trials, a major equestrian event, takes place there annually, giving the house considerable recognition. Sargassum is classified as what type of plant? Seaweed. Sargassum is a genus of brown, class Phaeophyceae, macroalgae, or seaweed, in the order Fucales. Large masses of sargassum seaweed can significantly impact marine ecosystems in coastal areas. Eva Toguri Dikino, a U.S. citizen who participated in propaganda broadcasts to Allied soldiers during World War II, was better known by what name? Tokyo Rose. Eva Toguri Dikino, an American of Japanese ancestry, was convicted of treason for broadcasting Japanese propaganda during World War II under the name Tokyo Rose. She was later pardoned, but her case highlights the complexities of wartime allegiances and propaganda. A sonic boom is an explosive noise caused by the shock wave of an aircraft traveling faster than the speed of sound. Sonic. A sonic boom is the sound associated with the shock waves created when an object travels through the air faster than the speed of sound. The phenomenon is often associated with supersonic aircraft and can cause a loud, thunder-like noise. How many prisoners were incarcerated in the Bastille in Paris at the time of its storming by the revolutionaries in 1789? 7. The storming of the Bastille on July 14, 1789, was a pivotal event in the French Revolution, symbolizing the end of the ancient regime. Ironically, only 7 prisoners were present, highlighting the symbolic rather than practical importance of the event. In medical terminology, by what more common name is septicemia known? Blood poisoning. Septicemia, or blood poisoning, is a serious bloodstream infection. It occurs when bacteria enter the bloodstream and cause widespread inflammation and organ damage, requiring immediate medical intervention. How many distinct denominations of euro coins are currently in circulation? 8. There are 8 euro coin denominations, 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, and 50 cents, and 1 and 2 euros. These coins are legal tender in all Eurozone countries, although their designs may vary slightly from one nation to another. In 1692, upon the orders of William III, approximately 80 members of which Scottish clan were massacred at Glencoe. MacDonald. The massacre of Glencoe was a significant event in Scottish history, highlighting the complex political landscape of the time and the tensions between the monarchy and Highland clans. It remains a potent symbol of betrayal and government overreach. In the field of medicine, what part of the human body does a rhinologist specialize in treating? Nose. Rhinology is a branch of medicine that focuses on the diagnosis and treatment of diseases and conditions related to the nose and sinuses. Rhinologists often work closely with otolaryngologists, ENT specialists. Which renowned statue was discovered by a peasant on the Greek island of Melos in 1820? The Venus de Milo, Aphrodite of Melos. The Venus de Milo, also known as Aphrodite of Melos, is an ancient Greek statue and one of the most famous works of ancient Greek sculpture. It is believed to depict Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love and beauty. What was the name of Napoleon I's second wife? Marie-Louise. Marie-Louise was an Austrian archduchess who married Napoleon I in 1810 after his divorce from Josephine de Beauharnais. The marriage was politically motivated and aimed to secure an alliance between France and Austria. A megapode is what type of creature? Bird. Megapodes are a family of ground-dwelling birds known for their unique incubation methods. Instead of incubating their eggs with body heat, they bury them in mounds of decaying vegetation or warm sand. Who was the first British monarch to voluntarily abdicate the throne? Edward VIII. Edward VIII abdicated the British throne in December 1936 to marry Wallis Simpson, an American divorcee. His abdication caused a constitutional crisis and led to his brother, George VI, becoming king. Pozole, a soup or stew, originated in which country? Mexico. Pozole is a traditional Mexican soup or stew, often made with hominy and meat. It is a significant part of Mexican cuisine and culture, particularly during celebrations. In January 1994, which Russian president co-signed the Kremlin Accords with US President Bill Clinton? Boris Yeltsin. The Kremlin Accords, signed in 1994, were a series of agreements between the US and Russia. They addressed nuclear disarmament and aimed to reduce Cold War tensions. If a cavity in the human body is described as infundibulum, what is its shape? Funnel-shaped. In anatomy, infundibulum refers to a funnel-shaped structure. This term is used to describe various anatomical features, such as parts of the brain or reproductive organs. Who assumed the role of British Foreign Secretary in May 2010? William Hague. William Hague served as the British Foreign Secretary from May 2010 to July 2014. He played a key role in shaping British foreign policy during that period. What is the measure, in degrees, of each interior angle of a regular octagon? 135. A regular octagon has 8 equal sides and 8 equal interior angles. The sum of the interior angles of an n-sided polygon is n2, * 180 degrees, hence each angle in an octagon is 135 degrees. Which British Prime Minister's given name was Leonard? James Callaghan. James Callaghan served as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1976 to 1979. His actual first name was James, Leonard was not his name. What quantity does a pluviometer measure? Rainfall. A pluviometer, also known as a rain gauge, is an instrument used by meteorologists and hydrologists to gather and measure the amount of liquid precipitation over an area in a predefined period of time. Who was the first poet to posthumously receive the Pulitzer Prize? Sylvia Plath. Sylvia Plath was the first poet to be awarded the Pulitzer Prize posthumously in 1982 for The Collected Poems. The Pulitzer Prize is a prestigious award in the United States for achievements in journalism, literature, and musical composition. What currency served as Spain's principal monetary unit prior to the adoption of the euro? Peseta. The Spanish peseta was the official currency of Spain from 1869 until 2002, when it was replaced by the euro. The introduction of the euro marked a significant change in the monetary policy of many European nations. What is the typical voltage of car batteries? 12 volts. Car batteries typically operate at 12 volts, providing the necessary electrical power to start the engine and operate vehicle accessories. The voltage is maintained by the car's charging system. Which British politician is credited with the quote, "To Joe Joe is always better than to war war"? Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, famously stated, "To Joe Joe is always better than to war war," advocating for diplomacy and negotiation as preferable alternatives to armed conflict. This quote reflects a key principle of international relations. Ionic, Doric, Tuscan, and Corinthian are architectural styles primarily associated with which structural element? Column. These are classical orders of columns, each characterized by distinct features in their capitals, shafts, and bases, representing different stylistic periods and regions of ancient Greece and Rome. During World War II, to what larger organization did the Maquis belong? The French Resistance. The Maquis were rural guerrilla bands of French resistance fighters during the Nazi occupation of France. They played a significant role in sabotage and intelligence gathering, contributing to the Allied war effort. Which two colors are incorporated into the design of the national flag of Austria? Red and white. The Austrian flag consists of 3 equal horizontal bands of red, top, white, middle, and red, bottom. The design is believed to originate from the 13th century. Erytitis, a medical condition, primarily affects which anatomical structure in the human body? Ear. Erytitis, also known as barotitis media or ear barotrauma, is an inflammatory condition of the middle ear caused by pressure differences between the middle ear and the surrounding environment. In the International Morse code, which letter is represented by a single dash? T. Morse code is a method of transmitting text information as a series of on-off tones, lights, or clicks that can be directly understood by a skilled listener or observer without special equipment. The letter T is represented by a single dash, the simplest symbol in the code. The Rapa Nui are the native Polynesian inhabitants of which island? Easter Island, Rapa Nui. Easter Island, also known as Rapa Nui, is a Chilean island in the southeastern Pacific Ocean, notable for its monumental statues called moai. The island's Polynesian inhabitants, the Rapa Nui, have a rich cultural history and faced significant challenges due to environmental degradation and external contact. Who was president at the start of the American Civil War? Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States, serving from 1861 to 1865. He led the Union through the American Civil War, preserving the nation and abolishing slavery. In medicine, polydipsia is a non-medical symptom in which a patient displays an excessive what? Thirst. Polydipsia is a condition characterized by excessive thirst and is often associated with medical conditions like diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus. It can also be a symptom of other underlying health issues, requiring careful medical evaluation. Who was elected President of the Philippines in 1965? Ferdinand Marcos. Ferdinand Marcos was elected President of the Philippines in 1965, initiating a long period of rule that significantly shaped the nation's political and economic landscape. His presidency was marked by both development and controversy, including allegations of authoritarianism and corruption. In Greek mythology, what is the region beneath the underworld where the wicked were sent as punishment for their sins called? Tartarus. In Greek mythology, Tartarus is a deep, dark abyss used as a dungeon of torment and suffering for the wicked. It is distinct from Hades, which is the general realm of the dead. In which European country is Sion Airport located? Switzerland. Sion Airport is located in Switzerland, primarily serving regional and seasonal flights. Its location within the Swiss Alps presents unique operational challenges. What type of bird is a scap? Duck. A scap is a type of diving duck belonging to the genus Idea. There are two main species, the greater scap and the lesser scap, found in North America and Eurasia. In March 1977, the rings of which planet in our solar system were discovered? Uranus. The rings of Uranus, though not as prominent as Saturn's, were discovered in 1977 by James L. Elliott, Edward W. Dunham, and Douglas J. Mink. This discovery significantly enhanced our understanding of planetary ring systems beyond Saturn. Which company was founded by Bill Gates and Paul Allen in Albuquerque, New Mexico in April 1975? Microsoft. Microsoft, originally founded as Microsoft in 1975 by Bill Gates and Paul Allen, revolutionized personal computing with its operating systems and software applications. Its early location in Albuquerque, New Mexico marked the start of its global influence. Which Apollo program, ultimately unsuccessful, was launched in April 1970? Apollo 13. Apollo 13, launched in April 1970, is famous for the in-flight emergency that prevented it from landing on the moon. The mission became a successful failure due to the crew's safe return to Earth after an oxygen tank rupture. Who resigned from the office of Vice President of the United States in October 1973? Spiro T. Agnew. Spiro T. Agnew resigned as Vice President of the United States in October 1973 amidst a criminal investigation related to tax evasion during his time as Governor of Maryland. His resignation marked a significant event in American political history. In January 1972, Rose Heilbronn achieved what distinction as the first woman judge at which London court? The Old Bailey, the Central Criminal Court. Rose Heilbronn's appointment as the first woman judge at the Old Bailey in January 1972 was a landmark achievement for women in the British legal system. The Old Bailey, also known as the Central Criminal Court, is one of the most famous courts in the United Kingdom. Which human disease was certified as globally eradicated in December 1979, representing the first disease driven to extinction? Smallpox. Smallpox was certified as eradicated by the World Health Organization, WHO, in December 1979. This achievement marks a pivotal moment in public health history, demonstrating the effectiveness of vaccination campaigns. The discovery of which army occurred at Xi'an in China in 1974? The Terracotta Army. The Terracotta Army, discovered in 1974 near Xi'an, China, is a collection of terracotta sculptures depicting the armies of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. It is a significant archaeological find, providing insights into ancient Chinese military and artistic practices. Which U.S. state was the first to post distance in metric signs, beginning in February 1973? Ohio. Ohio was the first state to adopt metric signage. This was part of a broader, ultimately unsuccessful, attempt to convert the United States to the metric system. Whom did Bobby Fischer defeat in September 1972 to become the first American world chess champion? Boris Spassky. Bobby Fischer's victory over Boris Spassky in the 1972 World Chess Championship is one of the most famous chess matches in history. It was held in Reykjavik, Iceland, and was seen as a symbolic victory for the United States during the Cold War. Which pope died in September 1978 after only 33 days of papacy? Pope John Paul I. Pope John Paul I's brief papacy, lasting only 33 days, is one of the shortest in the history of the Catholic Church. His sudden death led to various conspiracy theories, though the official cause was a heart attack. Which bridge crossing the River Thames was opened by Queen Elizabeth II on March 17, 1973? London Bridge. The current London Bridge was opened in 1973, replacing a 19th-century bridge. It is distinct from Tower Bridge, which is often mistakenly identified as London Bridge. To which planet in our solar system does the adjective Martian pertain? Mars. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun and is often referred to as the red planet, due to the presence of iron oxide on its surface. Its two moons are Phobos and Deimos. In which European city is the poet and author Oscar Wilde interred? Paris. Oscar Wilde, an Irish poet and playwright, died in Paris in 1900. He is known for works like The Importance of Being Earnest and The Picture of Dorian Gray, which explored themes of aestheticism and societal hypocrisy. What is the fifth planet from the Sun? Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system and the fifth in order from the Sun. It is a gas giant composed primarily of hydrogen and helium. Who was the only Canadian-born British Prime Minister? Andrew Bonar Law. Andrew Bonar Law served as the British Prime Minister from 1922 to 1923 and was the only Prime Minister born in Canada. He was a member of the Conservative Party. In 1665, Thomas Willett was appointed the first mayor of which city? New York. Thomas Willett became the first mayor of New York City, then New Amsterdam, in 1665 after the English took control from the Dutch. This marked a significant transition in the city's early colonial history. A septennium is a period of how many years? 7. A septennium refers to a period lasting 7 years. The term is derived from the Latin word septem, meaning 7, and is occasionally used in historical or academic contexts to denote a 7-year interval. Who invented the hovercraft in the 1950s? Christopher Cockerell. Christopher Cockerell is credited with inventing the hovercraft. His initial experiments began in the early 1950s, leading to the first working prototype. To which member of a family does the term sororal relate? Sister. The term sororal is an adjective that pertains to sisters. It is often used in contexts involving familial relationships and sibling connections. For which nation's authors is the Pushkin Prize, established in 1881, awarded to recognize the highest standard of literary excellence? Russia. The Pushkin Prize, inaugurated in 1881, is a prestigious literary award presented to authors from Russia. It acknowledges exceptional contributions to Russian literature. Which martial art translates to the way of the sword? Kendo. Kendo, a modern Japanese martial art, focuses on swordsmanship using bamboo swords, shinai, and protective armor. Its name literally translates to the way of the sword. Lithology is the study of which natural substance? Rocks. Lithology is the branch of geology concerned with the study of rocks. It focuses on their macroscopic features such as color, texture, composition, and structure. Lithology helps in rock identification and understanding geological formations. Sn is the symbol for which chemical element? Tin. Tin's chemical symbol, Sn, comes from the Latin word, stannum. Tin is a soft, silvery white metal used in many alloys and is a protective coating. In British politics, who served as Chancellor of the Exchequer from November 1990 to May 1993? Norman Lamont. Norman Lamont served as Chancellor of the Exchequer under Prime Minister John Major. During his tenure, the UK experienced a recession and faced challenges including the exchange rate mechanism crisis. By what nickname is the English monarch Richard I commonly known? Richard the Lionheart. Richard I, also known as Richard the Lionheart, reigned from 1189 to 1199. He was a central figure in the Third Crusade, remembered for his military prowess and courage. What type of weather condition is a simoon? Wind. A simoon is a strong, dry, desert wind that carries sand and dust. It is typically experienced in North Africa, the Middle East, and parts of Central Asia. Which country launched the Luna 17 spacecraft in November 1970? Russia, Soviet Union. Launched by the Soviet Union in November 1970, Luna 17 was an unmanned spacecraft that carried the Lunokhod 1 rover to the Moon. It was the first remotely controlled rover to land on another celestial body. Who ascended to the English throne in May 1660? King Charles II. Charles II became King of England, Scotland, and Ireland in May 1660, marking the restoration of the monarchy after the interregnum period. His reign was characterized by cultural and social changes. What is the proper form of address for an ambassador? Your Excellency. An ambassador is the highest-ranking diplomatic representative appointed by a country to represent it in another country or international organization. Addressing them as Your Excellency is a formal and respectful protocol. In 1979, which nation was the first to grant limited rights to same-sex couples through a scheme called unregistered cohabitation? Netherlands. The Netherlands pioneered legal recognition for same-sex couples with the introduction of unregistered cohabitation in 1979, marking a significant early step towards LGBTQ+ rights and paving the way for later advancements such as same-sex marriage. Which colored light signifies the port side of a ship? Red. The port side of a vessel is traditionally indicated by a red light, while the starboard side is indicated by a green light. These navigational lights are essential for maritime safety, particularly at night, to allow vessels to determine each other's relative position and heading. In which European country is SHAPE, Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe, located? Belgium. SHAPE serves as the headquarters of NATO's Allied Command Operations, ACO, responsible for the planning and execution of all NATO military operations. Its location in Belgium reflects the country's central role in European and international security affairs. What was the name of the Belfast shipyard in which the RMS Titanic was constructed? Harland and Wolff. Harland and Wolff, located in Belfast, Northern Ireland, was the shipyard responsible for building the RMS Titanic. The Titanic sank on its maiden voyage in 1912 after hitting an iceberg. In which U.S. state was the American author John Steinbeck born? California. John Steinbeck, a Nobel Prize-winning author, was born in Salinas, California, in 1902. His works often depicted the lives and struggles of working-class people, particularly during the Great Depression. In astronomy, by what name is the aurora borealis more commonly known? The Northern Lights. The aurora borealis, or northern lights, is a natural light display in the Earth's sky, predominantly seen in high-latitude regions. It is caused by charged particles from the sun interacting with the Earth's magnetic field. In a standard game of chess, how many bishops does each player start with? 2. In chess, each player begins the game with 2 bishops. Bishops are pieces that move diagonally any number of unoccupied squares, making them strategic for controlling specific areas of the board. The Nansen Basin contains the lowest part of which ocean? Arctic Ocean. The Nansen Basin, located in the Arctic Ocean, is a deep submarine basin and contains the lowest point in the Arctic Ocean seabed. This basin is significant for understanding the ocean structure and circulation. How many vowels are in the English alphabet? 5. The English alphabet consists of 26 letters, of which 5 are vowels. A, E, I, O, and U vowels are essential for forming words and syllables in the English language. Oil of cloves is traditionally used to treat the pain in which part of the human body? Teeth. Oil of cloves contains eugenol, a natural anesthetic and antiseptic, which makes it traditionally used for temporary relief of tooth pain. It is often applied directly to the affected area or used as an ingredient in dental preparations. What is the capital of France? Paris. Paris is the capital and most populous city of France, located on the Seine River in the north-central part of the country. As a global center for art, fashion, gastronomy, and culture, it holds significant political and economic influence. If something is biannual, how often does it occur? Twice a year. Biannual events happen twice a year, distinguishing them from biennial events, which occur every 2 years. Understanding this distinction is essential in accurately interpreting schedules and timelines. Which English artist painted the Haywan? John Constable. John Constable was a prominent English Romantic painter, well known for his landscape paintings of Dedham Vale. The Haywan is one of his most celebrated works, capturing the English countryside. Who wrote the novel, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn? Mark Twain. Mark Twain, whose real name was Samuel Clemens, penned The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, a seminal work in American literature. The novel explores themes of freedom, racism, and societal norms through the eyes of a young boy navigating the Mississippi River. For which modern Asian country was Serendip the former name? Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, officially the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, is an island country in South Asia. Its historical name, Serendip, has contributed to the English word, serendipity, reflecting fortunate discoveries made by chance. In 1975, the United States citizenship was posthumously restored to which American Civil War general? General Robert E. Lee. General Robert E. Lee commanded the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia during the American Civil War. His U.S. citizenship was restored in 1975 as a gesture of reconciliation, more than a century after the conflict. Which animal serves as the symbol of the United States Republican political party? Elephant. The elephant was popularized as a symbol for the Republican Party through political cartoons by Thomas Nast in the late 19th century. It represents strength, dignity, and intelligence. What is the depth, measured in feet, of a fathom? 6 feet. A fathom is a unit of length, primarily used in nautical contexts, equal to 6 feet. It is commonly used to measure the depth of water. By what common name is the drug MDMA, 3,4-methylenedioxy and methylamphetamine, more widely known? Ecstasy. MDMA, commonly known as ecstasy or Molly, is a psychoactive drug primarily used for recreational purposes. It produces feelings of euphoria, altered sensations, and increased energy. Which city is known as the Pearl of the Adriatic? Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik, located in Croatia, is known as the Pearl of the Adriatic, due to its stunning old town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and its historical and cultural significance along the Adriatic Sea. In what color did the light-emitting diode, LED, originate as a single illumination in 1962? Red. The first practical LED was invented in 1962 by Nick Holoniuk Jr. and emitted red light. This marked a significant advancement in solid-state lighting technology. Which lake possesses the largest surface area among all freshwater lakes globally? Lake Superior. Lake Superior, located in North America and bordering Canada and the United States, holds the title of the largest freshwater lake by surface area. It is one of the 5 Great Lakes of North America. Who was the English art forger, born in 1917, who claimed to have faked more than 2,000 paintings by over 100 artists? Tom Keating. Tom Keating was a British art forger known for creating and selling fake paintings attributed to various artists. His case raised significant questions about authenticity and the art market. Myology is the scientific study of which part of the human body? Muscles. Myology is the branch of biology dedicated to the study of muscles, including their structure, function, and diseases. It is crucial for understanding movement, posture, and various physiological processes. Which British place of learning is referred to as the OU? Open University. The Open University, OU, is a UK-based distance learning and research university. It is renowned for providing accessible higher education to students of all backgrounds through flexible study options. In the Bible, who is the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth? Noah. In the biblical narrative, Noah is the patriarch who built the ark to save his family and animals from the great flood. Shem, Ham, and Japheth are his sons, and the repopulation of the earth is attributed to their descendants. In which London station is a bronze statue of Paddington Bear situated? Paddington Station. The Paddington Bear statue at Paddington Station is a popular landmark, commemorating the fictional bear's arrival in London. It serves as a cultural reference and a point of interest for visitors. The 1971 Seabed Treaty, signed by the US, Russia, and the UK, prohibited the placement of what on the ocean floor beyond a 12-mile coastal zone? Nuclear weapons, WMDs. The Seabed Arms Control Treaty of 1971 prohibits the placement of nuclear weapons or other weapons of mass destruction on the seabed beyond a 12-mile coastal zone. This international agreement aims to prevent the militarization of the seabed. How many sheets of paper, of the same size and quality, constitute a metric quire? 25. A quire, in the context of paper measurement, traditionally refers to a collection of 25 sheets of paper of the same size and quality. This unit is used in the paper industry for packaging and sales. In which year was cigarette advertising prohibited on British television in the United Kingdom? 1965. The ban on cigarette advertising on British television in 1965 was a landmark event in public health. It was one of the earliest restrictions on tobacco promotion implemented to reduce smoking rates. From which sonnet by Emma Lazarus does the quotation, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free," originate? The New Colossus. Emma Lazarus's sonnet, "The New Colossus," is inscribed on a bronze plaque inside the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty. Its powerful words have come to symbolize the welcoming spirit of the United States towards immigrants. In 1969, who achieved the distinction of becoming the youngest woman ever elected to the British Parliament? Bernadette Devlin. Bernadette Devlin, later known as Bernadette McCalskey, was a Northern Irish civil rights activist who, at the age of 21, became the youngest woman ever elected to the UK Parliament in 1969. In which European nation was the sou, a coin of low value? France. The sou was a former French coin of low denomination, historically representing a fraction of the livre and later of the franc. It serves as a historical reference point for understanding pre-euro currency systems in France. In which European city is the magic fountain of Montjuic located? Barcelona. The magic fountain of Montjuic is a spectacular fountain located in Barcelona, Spain, known for its elaborate displays of water, light, and music. It is a popular tourist attraction and a symbol of the city. To which London hospital are all the proceeds from J. M. Barrie's novel, Peter Pan, bequeathed? Great Ormond Street Hospital for Sick Children. J. M. Barrie gifted the copyright of Peter Pan to Great Ormond Street Hospital in 1929, ensuring that royalties from the play and subsequent works would benefit the hospital's charitable mission of providing specialized healthcare for children. What type of creature is a malimbe? Bird. Malimbe refers to a genus of birds in the weaver family, Plosiidae, native to sub-Saharan Africa. Studying animal classification and biodiversity is crucial in understanding ecological relationships and conservation efforts. What is the official language of the Bahamas? English. English is the official language of the Bahamas, reflecting the country's historical ties to British colonization and its continued membership in the Commonwealth. The use of English facilitates international communication, particularly in tourism and finance sectors. What is the name of the bridge, a world-famous tourist site designed by Richard Lee, which connects Niagara Falls, New York and Niagara Falls, Ontario? Rainbow Bridge. The Rainbow Bridge, arching over the Niagara River, connects the cities of Niagara Falls, New York, and Niagara Falls, Ontario. This iconic structure facilitates international transit and provides stunning views of the Niagara Falls. Edward Woodstock, 14th century Prince of Wales, is popularly known by what name? The Black Prince. Edward Woodstock, Prince of Wales, earned the moniker, the Black Prince, during the 14th century. He was a notable military leader during the 100 Years' War, celebrated for his prowess in battles such as Crecy and Poitiers. In human anatomy, what is the name of the wall that separates the nostrils? Septum. The nasal septum is a cartilaginous structure within the nose that divides the nasal cavity into two nostrils. It plays a crucial role in airflow regulation and supporting the nasal structure. In which European city is the renowned Reeperbahn located? Hamburg. The Reeperbahn is a famous street and entertainment district in Hamburg, Germany. It is known for its nightlife, including bars, clubs, and live music venues, and has a significant historical and cultural presence. In thermomechanics, what mechanical properties does a bevometer measure? Soil. A bevometer is an instrument used in thermomechanics to assess the mechanical behavior of soil. This includes parameters such as sinkage, shear strength, and stress-strain relationships, critical for understanding soil-vehicle interaction. What bird is known by the Latin name, pica pica? Magpie. The Eurasian magpie, a bird known for its intelligence and distinctive black and white plumage, is scientifically classified as pica pica. This classification is important for ornithological studies and conservation efforts. Buzkashi is the national sport of which nation? Afghanistan. Buzkashi is a Central Asian sport, most notably the national sport of Afghanistan, involving horse-mounted players attempting to place a goat or calf carcass in a goal. It reflects the region's equestrian traditions and cultural heritage. Which color does the Spanish word, amarillo, represent? Yellow. Amarillo is the Spanish term for the color yellow. Understanding basic color terminology across languages can be useful in various fields, including art history and international relations. Which monarch was victorious at the Battle of the Boyne in 1690? William III of Orange. The Battle of the Boyne, fought in 1690, was a pivotal event in Irish and British history, resulting in the victory of William III over James II. This victory secured William's rule and had lasting consequences for the political and religious landscape of the region. In which European city is the AEX stock exchange located? Amsterdam. The AEX is the primary stock market index of Euronext Amsterdam, formerly known as the Amsterdam Stock Exchange. It represents the performance of the 25 largest companies traded on the exchange. Which is the only county in Britain to possess two distinct coastlines? Devon. Devon is the only British county with two separate coastlines, bordering both the Bristol Channel and the English Channel. This unique geographical feature has shaped its history and economy, contributing to its maritime significance. In human physiology, what is the medical term for night blindness, the impaired ability to see in low light conditions or during the night? Nyctalopia. Nyctalopia, commonly known as night blindness, is often caused by a deficiency in vitamin A or underlying eye conditions such as retinitis pigmentosa. Early diagnosis and treatment are crucial to managing and potentially correcting the condition. Rosario, Mendoza, and Salta are all cities located within which South American nation? Argentina. Argentina is the 8th largest country in the world by land area and boasts diverse geographical regions, including the Andes Mountains and fertile plains. Its major cities, such as Rosario, Mendoza, and Salta, play significant roles in its economy and culture. Who assumed the office of President of the United States in March 1801? Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, served from 1801 to 1809. He is renowned for drafting the Declaration of Independence and overseeing the Louisiana Purchase, which significantly expanded the nation's territory. In human anatomy, Vrolig disease primarily affects which part of the body? Bones. Vrolig disease, also known as osteogenesis imperfecta, is a genetic disorder characterized by brittle bones that are prone to fractures. Management involves supportive care, physical therapy, and medications to strengthen bones and minimize injuries. The Fashoda Incident of 1898 marked the culmination of imperial territorial disputes between Great Britain and France within which geographical region? Africa, Eastern. The Fashoda incident was a critical moment in the scramble for Africa, highlighting the tensions between Britain and France over colonial possessions. The incident ultimately led to a diplomatic resolution and the delineation of spheres of influence in the region. Which American author's last two words on his deathbed were, "Moose" and "Indian"? Henry David Thoreau. Henry David Thoreau, 1817 to 1862, was an American essayist, poet, philosopher, abolitionist, naturalist, tax resister, development critic, surveyor, and historian. His works, such as Walden, are significant contributions to American transcendentalist thought and literature. In which year did Barbados join the Commonwealth? 1966. Barbados became an independent Commonwealth realm on November 30, 1966. It signifies a key event in the island nation's history, marking its transition from a British colony to a sovereign state within the Commonwealth. The Pasig and Marikina rivers are located in which Asian country? The Philippines. The Pasig River connects Laguna de Bay to Manila Bay, while the Marikina River is a tributary of the Pasig River. These rivers are important waterways in the Philippines, vital for transportation, irrigation, and ecosystems. In religion, what are the Zoroastrian books of sacred texts called? The Avesta. The Avesta is the primary collection of religious texts of Zoroastrianism, composed in the Avestan languages. It includes hymns, rituals, and theological teachings attributed to Zoroaster, a key figure in the faith. The Duke of Monmouth, who was executed in 1685 after leading a rebellion against King James II, was the illegitimate son of which monarch? King Charles II. James Scott, 1st Duke of Monmouth, led the Monmouth Rebellion in 1685 against his uncle, King James II of England. His failed attempt to seize the throne resulted in his execution and strengthened James II's rule. St. Wenceslas Day is celebrated in the Czech Republic during which month of the year? September 28. St. Wenceslas Day, celebrated on September 28, is a Czech public holiday commemorating Saint Wenceslas, the Duke of Bohemia. He is considered a symbol of Czech statehood and virtue. How many countries border Turkey? 8. Turkey shares land borders with 8 countries: Bulgaria, Greece, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, via Nakhchivan exclave, Iran, Iraq, and Syria. Its strategic location has historically made it a bridge between Europe and Asia. Canis lupus familiaris is the scientific name for which animal? Dog. Canis lupus familiaris is the scientific name for the domesticated dog. This classification highlights the dog's close evolutionary relationship to the grey wolf, Canis lupus. In the United States, how many universities comprise the Ivy League? 8. The Ivy League is an athletic conference comprising 8 private institutions of higher education in the northeastern United States. These universities are renowned for their academic excellence and selectivity. Along which body of water is Mount Sodom situated? The Dead Sea. Mount Sodom, primarily composed of rock salt, is located along the southwest shore of the Dead Sea, a hypersaline lake bordering Jordan and Israel. This geological formation contributes to the Dead Sea's unique mineral composition and density. Who was the father of King Edward VI of England? Henry VIII. King Edward VI, who reigned from 1547 until his death in 1553, was the son of King Henry VIII and Jane Seymour. Edward VI's brief reign was marked by significant religious changes towards Protestantism in England. What was the nationality of the painter Frida Kahlo? Mexican. Frida Kahlo, 1907–1954, was a renowned Mexican painter celebrated for her self-portraits and works inspired by Mexican folk art. Her paintings often explored themes of identity, the human body, and post-colonialism in Mexican society. In which South American country is Salter International Airport located? Argentina. Salter International Airport, officially known as Martin Miguel de Güemes International Airport, serves the city of Salter in Argentina. It is an important transportation hub for the northwest region of the country. To which color does the term verdant relate? Green. Verdant describes something that is green, especially with lush vegetation. It evokes images of flourishing landscapes and is often used in literature to depict scenes of natural beauty. In which European country is Monte Rosa the highest mountain? Switzerland. Monte Rosa, a mountain massif in the eastern part of the Pennine Alps, is the highest mountain in Switzerland and second highest in the Alps. Its Defospitze peak reaches a height of 4,634 meters above sea level. How many Concorde aircraft were constructed? 20. The Concorde was a supersonic passenger airliner jointly developed by France and the United Kingdom. Only 20 Concorde aircraft were ever built, entering service in 1976 and retiring in 2003. In which anatomical region of the human body is the sartorius muscle located? Thigh. The sartorius muscle is the longest muscle in the human body, located in the anterior compartment of the thigh. It is a flexor, abductor, and external rotator of the hip, and a flexor of the knee. Who assumed the office of British Prime Minister in June 1970? Edward Heath. Edward Heath served as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1970 to 1974. His premiership was marked by significant economic challenges and the UK's entry into the European Economic Community. In which museum is the statue of Venus de Milo permanently exhibited? The Louvre Museum, Paris. The Venus de Milo, a renowned ancient Greek statue, is prominently displayed in the Louvre Museum in Paris. The statue is believed to depict Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love and beauty. What is the typical number of teeth found in an adult feline? 30. An adult cat typically possesses 30 teeth, comprising incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. The dental formula is crucial for their carnivorous diet, enabling them to effectively capture and consume prey. What type of creature is a sevriger? Fish. A sevriger is a species of sturgeon, primarily found in the Caspian Sea. It is highly valued for its roe, which is processed into high-quality caviar. In which year did the English monarch Elizabeth I die? 1603. Elizabeth I, the Queen of England and Ireland, died in 1603, marking the end of the Tudor dynasty. Her reign is often considered a golden age in English history. Glieneck, Oberbaum, and Moltke are all bridges located in which European city? Berlin. The Glieneck, Oberbaum, and Moltke bridges are notable landmarks in Berlin, Germany. These bridges are historically and architecturally significant, contributing to the city's urban landscape and transportation network. Which bird is considered the unofficial national symbol of France? Gallic rooster. The Gallic rooster, or Le Coq Gaulois, is an unofficial national symbol of France, representing the country's history, pride, and courage. It is often used in sporting events and as an emblem on various national items. Who became former British Prime Minister Harold Wilson's private secretary in 1956? Marcia Williams, Lady Falkender. Marcia Williams, later known as Lady Falkender, served as Harold Wilson's private secretary starting in 1956. She became a prominent figure in British politics during his time as Prime Minister. In Greek mythology, who slayed the Minotaur, a half-man, half-beast creature kept in a labyrinth on the island of Crete? Theseus. Theseus, a hero in Greek mythology, is known for slaying the Minotaur. The Minotaur was confined within the labyrinth, a complex maze designed by Daedalus on the island of Crete. What is the currency of Bulgaria? Bulgarian lev. The Bulgarian lev, BGN, is the official currency of Bulgaria, subdivided into 100 stotenki. Its currency code is BGN and it is pegged to the euro. How many arrows are depicted in the left talon of the eagle on the Great Seal of the United States? 13. The Great Seal of the United States features an eagle holding 13 arrows in its left talon, symbolizing the original 13 colonies' readiness for war. The olive branch in the right talon signifies a preference for peace. What is the square root of 81? 9. The square root of a number is a value that, when multiplied by itself, equals the original number. In this instance, 9 multiplied by 9 equals 81. During which conflict did Florence Nightingale provide nursing care to wounded soldiers? Crimean War. Florence Nightingale, 1820–1910, is renowned for her pioneering work in nursing during the Crimean War, 1853–1856. Her efforts to improve sanitation in military hospitals dramatically reduced mortality rates. If something is described as biennial, what is its frequency of occurrence? Every 2 years. The term biennial refers to an event that occurs once every 2 years. This contrasts with annual, yearly, biannual, twice a year, and perennial, lasting for a long time. Who was the first female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher, a member of the Conservative Party, served as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1979 to 1990. She was known for her policies focused on privatization, deregulation, and reducing the power of trade unions. In Greek mythology, who held the position of ruler over the Olympian gods? Zeus. Zeus, in Greek mythology, was the king of the gods who resided on Mount Olympus. He was the god of the sky, thunder, lightning, law, order, and justice. How many presidential visages are sculpted into Mount Rushmore? 4. Mount Rushmore National Memorial features the faces of 4 U.S. presidents: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. The monument, carved into the Black Hills of South Dakota, represents the birth, growth, development, and preservation of the United States. What is the capital of Monaco? Monaco-Ville. Monaco-Ville, also known as Monaco City, is the capital of the Principality of Monaco, a sovereign city-state located on the French Riviera. It is situated on a prominent headland extending into the Mediterranean Sea. In architecture, in what part of a house would one find a purlin? The roof. A purlin is a horizontal structural member in a roof. It is used to support the common rafters or sheathing, transferring the load from the roof deck to the main supports like walls or beams. Cheval is the French term for which animal? Horse. Cheval is indeed the French word for horse, originating from the Latin word caballus. This is a common vocabulary question relevant for testing basic language skills and knowledge of loanwords in English. What is the term for a female red deer? A hind. The term hind is specific to female red deer and other deer species. Understanding terminology related to animal genders is relevant in zoology and environmental science contexts. In what year did women first compete in the 3,000-meter steeplechase at the Summer Olympics? 2008. The women's 3,000-meter steeplechase became an official Olympic event at the 2008 Beijing Games. This marked a significant milestone in gender equality in sports. What is the measure, in degrees, of each interior angle in a regular pentagon? 108. A regular pentagon has 5 equal sides and 5 equal angles. The sum of the interior angles of any pentagon is 540 degrees. Therefore, each angle in a regular pentagon measures 108 degrees. 540 divided by 5 equals 108. In which body of water does the island of Lanzarote lie? Atlantic Ocean. Lanzarote is one of the Canary Islands, which are located in the Atlantic Ocean, off the northwest coast of Africa. Its location makes it strategically important for trade and a popular tourist destination. To which national anthem does the opening line, "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light," belong? The Star-Spangled Banner. The Star-Spangled Banner is the national anthem of the United States of America. Its lyrics come from Defense of Fort McHenry, a poem written in 1814 by Francis Scott Key after witnessing the bombardment of Fort McHenry by British ships of the Royal Navy in the War of 1812. Who resigned from the position of Prime Minister of France in August 1976? Jacques Chirac. Jacques Chirac served as Prime Minister of France under President Valéry Giscard d'Estaing from 1974 to 1976. His resignation marked a turning point in French politics, preceding his later presidency. In the human body, what is the name of the large muscle covering the shoulder? Deltoid. The deltoid muscle is a large, triangular muscle that covers the shoulder joint and is responsible for shoulder abduction, flexion, and extension. It is a critical muscle for upper limb movement and stability. Which monarch united the Scottish and English thrones? James. James VI of Scotland became James I of England in 1603, uniting the crowns but not the kingdoms themselves. The formal union of England and Scotland into Great Britain occurred in 1707. What does dermatophobia denote the irrational fear of? Skin diseases, cracked skin. Dermatophobia is a specific phobia characterized by an irrational and excessive fear of skin diseases or skin conditions. It can manifest in various ways and significantly impact an individual's quality of life. Which US president is credited with saying, "The best way to destroy an enemy is to make him a friend"? Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, is renowned for his leadership during the Civil War and his commitment to preserving the Union. The quote reflects his belief in reconciliation and diplomacy. Which letters of the English alphabet represent Roman numerals? IVXLCDM. The Roman numeral system uses letters to represent numerical values. The common Roman numerals and their corresponding values are I equals 1, V equals 5, X equals 10, L equals 50, C equals 100, D equals 500, and M equals 1000. What is the boiling point of water on the Fahrenheit scale? 212 degrees. The boiling point of water is the temperature at which water changes from a liquid to a gas. On the Fahrenheit scale, this occurs at 212 degrees, while on the Celsius scale, it is 100 degrees. In 1970, Venera 7 of the USSR became the first man-made spacecraft to successfully land on which planet and transmit data back to Earth? Venus. Venera 7 was a Soviet space probe and the first spacecraft to successfully land on Venus and transmit data. This marked a significant achievement in planetary exploration, providing valuable information about the Venusian surface and atmosphere. The Road to Wigan Pier, a 1937 novel, was written by whom? George Orwell. The Road to Wigan Pier is a significant work by George Orwell, offering a social commentary on the working class in northern England during the industrial era. It combines journalistic investigation with personal reflections, highlighting themes of poverty and social injustice. In which African country is Lake Chrissie located? South Africa. Lake Chrissie, situated in the Mpumalanga province of South Africa, is part of a region known for its numerous pans and wetlands. The area is an important habitat for various bird species and contributes to the ecological diversity of the region. In humans, what does the term polydactyly refer to? Digits. Polydactyly is a congenital condition characterized by the presence of extra fingers or toes. It is a relatively common anomaly and can occur as an isolated trait or as part of a more complex genetic syndrome. By what name is Roman Emperor Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus Germanicus more commonly known? Caligula. Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus Germanicus, better known as Caligula, was a Roman emperor who ruled from 37 to 41 AD. His reign was marked by extravagance, alleged cruelty, and erratic behavior, ultimately leading to his assassination. Tatanka Ioteke was the indigenous name of which American tribal chief? Sitting Bull. Sitting Bull was a Hankpapa Lakota chief and holy man who led his people during years of resistance to United States government policies. His significance lies in his leadership during the Battle of the Little Bighorn in 1876. How many sheets of identical paper constitute a ream? 500. A ream is a standard quantity of paper sheets, typically comprising 500 identical sheets. This quantity is used in commercial settings and for inventory management. How many fluid ounces are contained within half an imperial pint? 10. An imperial pint is a unit of volume in the imperial system, equivalent to 20 fluid ounces. Therefore, half an imperial pint contains 10 fluid ounces. What is the anatomical term for the shin bone? Tibia. The tibia, also known as the shin bone, is the larger and stronger of the two bones in the lower leg. It plays a crucial role in weight bearing and locomotion. According to biblical accounts, what was the name of Jesus' maternal grandfather? Heli. The Gospel of Luke identifies Heli as the father of Mary, the mother of Jesus. Heli's lineage is part of the genealogy of Jesus presented in the New Testament. From which country did Russia finally withdraw its troops in 1989, following an unsuccessful campaign that lasted nearly 10 years? Afghanistan. The Soviet-Afghan War lasted from 1979 to 1989. The withdrawal of Soviet troops in 1989 marked a significant turning point in the Cold War and had lasting consequences for Afghanistan. Lopburi, Phichit, and Ang Tong are provinces located within which Asian country? Thailand. Thailand is divided into 76 provinces, each administered by a governor. These provinces play a significant role in Thailand's administrative structure and regional development. The unification of the crowns of Aragon and Castile laid the basis for which modern-day European country? Spain. The marriage of Ferdinand II of Aragon and Isabella I of Castile in 1469 led to the dynastic union of their kingdoms. This unification is considered the foundation of modern Spain, marking a pivotal moment in Spanish history. Pratibha Patil was the first female president of which country? Republic of India. Pratibha Patil served as the 12th President of India from 2007 to 2012. Her election marked a significant milestone in Indian history, symbolizing progress in gender equality and women's empowerment in Indian politics. Rarotonga is the most populous island belonging to which island group? Cook Islands. Rarotonga is the largest and most populous of the Cook Islands, located in the South Pacific Ocean. It serves as the political and economic center of the Cook Islands, contributing significantly to the nation's culture and tourism. Of which English historical figure was it said that his wife carried his head around in a velvet bag for nearly 30 years? Sir Walter Raleigh. Sir Walter Raleigh, circa 1554 to 1618, was an English explorer, soldier, and writer. He was executed for treason, and the story of his wife preserving his head is a notable anecdote. Neville Chamberlain served as British Prime Minister during the reign of which monarch? King George VI. Neville Chamberlain was Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1937 to 1940, a period coinciding with the reign of King George VI, 1936 to 1952, and the lead up to World War II. In which Central American country is the volcano Irazu located? Costa Rica. Irazu volcano is an active volcano in Costa Rica's central volcanic range, known for its eruptions and scenic views, including the possibility of seeing both the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans from its summit on a clear day. To which city does the Hajj pilgrimage lead? Makkah. The Hajj is an annual Islamic pilgrimage to Makkah, Saudi Arabia, the holiest city for Muslims. It is one of the 5 pillars of Islam and a mandatory religious duty for Muslims who are able to undertake the journey. For which republic is RSM, the International Vehicle Registration Code? San Marino. International Vehicle Registration Codes are alphanumeric codes that identify the country of registration of a vehicle. RSM is the code assigned to San Marino, a microstate in southern Europe. Which infamous monk was assassinated in Petrograd, St. Petersburg, in 1916? Grigory Yefimovich Rasputin. Grigory Rasputin was a Russian mystic and self-proclaimed holy man who gained significant influence in the late Imperial Russia. He was assassinated in 1916 by a group of conspirators who opposed his influence on the royal family.